Alright, I'm coming in hot. Already on the ground, gang, so there's no way around it. You're not using the factory air box. You're not using the dining air box.
Perfect.
What's swinging, gang? What's swinging, Auto Lust gang? You already know what time it is. I'm finna let you guys see exactly what went into making Sasha's engine 1200 horsepower capable, and what all had to be done, what all needs to be done, and what all you're not going to be able to use anymore or have on your engine anymore if you want to do this mod, which is switching the M5 M6 intercoolers on the X6M. Let's get it. But before we get into that, we finna get into this. And it's something I was supposed to do 2 months ago, over 2 months ago, but I didn't have a car, so I couldn't do it. So let's get this done. And it's gonna feel so much better to see this on the car. And I'm gonna show you what it is. Okay, let me come around the front. So as you guys know, Sasha has a full carbon fiber aero kit. Well, at least it looks like she have a full carbon fiber aero kit. She has a carbon fiber front splitter, carbon fiber side skirts, not to mention the full carbon fiber trim on the interior, including the steering wheel. She has a carbon fiber rear spoiler and a carbon fiber rear diffuser with carbon fiber exhaust tips. But as you can see, the rear quarters on each side of the car is blank, and it never was like that, because the old kit I took off of Sasha came with rear quarter pieces, and it just looked funny with the carbon fiber coming around, stopping at the wheel, a big blank piece, and then carbon fiber here on the rear. From the back it doesn't look bad, but from the side it looks weird because it's just nothing there. It looks like something's missing. So that's where these come in. Yeah, so we're gonna get these babies put on, and then I'm gonna show you how they sit on. I'm gonna set this camera down first and show you guys how they sit on, so you can see exactly how it looks when it's on the car. But it pretty much sits on the car like that, something like that, and that's gonna bring that carbon fiber all the way back around. I might be a little too far forward, a little too far back, but it sits on something like that, and that's how it looks with it on. That might be a bad angle, but once they're on, you guys are gonna see what it looks like. So let's get these babies put on.
A few moments later.
Alright, I'm coming in hot. Already on the ground, gang. So, and then my drill might be a little bit too long, so we're gonna have to pull this out. And you can use double-sided tape on this if you want to, you know, but I'm probably not gonna use the double-sided tape. I'm just gonna use the screws that it came with. You know, I mean, it's just a small piece, and it's not like anybody's gonna be standing on anything back here anyway. So, you know, I'm just gonna use the screws, and it'll be a lot easier to take off if I need to. You know, I can just drop the screws and put it back in. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna line this baby up as good as we can. Line it up about right there. And then we're gonna drop this screw in. camera around. Flip the camera around and so you can see it sits on there pretty much like that. It's like a little wind pocket. Pretty much the same type of pocket that the X5 got. But it's not carbon fiber. You know, like a little wind skirt. It's that same type of deal here. Let me get some light so you guys can see it better. Get a little bit more light here. Yeah, see, you can see it a little better now. And that's the way it's supposed to sit, just like that. I know it looked weird, but that's the way it's supposed to sit. And then it curves all the way around. And it's a little indent here that like slides right up in there. You know, see how it locks in, and that makes one full piece all the way around to the rear diffuser. Now that looks good. That looks good. So I'm finna get this piece, get this side put on, finish putting the screws in on that side, and get this side put on. So whether you're doing a custom intake or using an arcade intake like I am, this is pretty much what your engine bay is gonna look like. There's no way around it. You're not using the factory air box, you're not using the dining air box. Nothing is gonna be able to fit. Like, look how tall those intercoolers are. There's nothing gonna fit over those. The intercoolers are actually taller than the intakes, which is extremely aggressive, and I love them. You know. So that's the first thing that you're not going to be able to use. The second thing you're not going to be able to use is your engine cover. That's if you don't want it modified like mine is. You know, I might have to do a little bit more trimming because it still touches here and there, but as you can see, the engine cover will need to be modified for the charge pipes to fit. You know, and that's coming directly out of my intercooler and going straight down. If you can see on both sides, that's a very tight bend while still being smooth, because we didn't want to, like, you know, have any type of air restriction problem. So that's about as smooth as you're gonna get those dropping straight down while using the engine cover. All right, so those are the things you're not gonna be able to use no more. Let's talk about the things that you're gonna have to do if you want these intercoolers to fit on this engine. Number one, whoever said that you can use the M5, M6 intake manifolds, that's a lie. They don't fit because it's all-wheel drive and the engine mounts are in two different places. And the air intake manifolds are made around the engine mounts on both cars, so you can't use those. You're gonna have to use the stock engine mounts unless you have a 6-axis, 5-axis CNC machine and make your own out of billet aluminum. Okay, so we got that out. Next thing you aren't going to be able to use is, you might be able to do this, but we didn't go that route, and that's put the throttle body on the bottom of the intercooler like the M5, M6 is, instead of putting the throttle body on the top of the intake manifold. And I'm going to show you a picture of the differences right here. You know, we didn't go that route. But if you can see, I'm gonna try to get it where you guys can see down there. You probably don't be able to see down there, but in order to make this work, these charge coolers are so big that they don't sit up against the engine like the original charge coolers. And I'm gonna put a picture right here showing you the difference in size. So they don't sit up against the engine. You know, you have to push them out a little bit. So we had to get HPS couplers that are staggered fitment and able to make the charge pipe track go down back into the throttle body. So you're gonna need those. And right above that, we have a custom adapter made from a Toyota, actually Toyota BRZ, Toyota F86 throttle body spacer, which looks like this. You know, and we use gutted out, and we use a used throttle body, BMW throttle body, the serrated part, which the original hose clamps to, and we cut that off and welded them onto the Toyota throttle body spacers, and they bolt right up to the bottom of the new intercoolers. Once they're modified a little, you have to drill the holes out and able to slip them over the intercooler mounting points. Second, you're gonna need custom charge pipes made. Well, I don't know if this second or third. I'm gonna stop counting and just show you guys what you need, because it's not worth doing all of that. Okay, as you guys can see, I have Pure Stage 2 turbos. They're brand new. These are Pure Stage 2 turbos, but you're gonna need custom charge pipes. As you can see, these charge pipes are one-off. They aren't symmetrical. They aren't going the same way. As you can see, the intercoolers are staggered a little. This one sits a little higher than that one, and they both have a light twist to them. So this one had to go down, curve over, and in. This one had to go up, curve downward, and in. So they're not the same whatsoever. And I'm gonna walk around those so you can see the charge pipes. But you're gonna have to get custom charge pipes made if you want to do this intercooler mod, because you're definitely not gonna be able to use M5, M6 charge pipes, and the factory charge pipes on the X6M, X5M won't fit if you prayed for them to fit. So, and another thing you're not gonna be able to use until it's modified is this bar that used to hold the air intake box. You know, it's no way it's gonna bolt. You see those two black screws on that candy red? Those bolts is not gonna bolt into here because it sits too close up. So you have to cut down into both sides of this bar, re-weld it, reinforce it, and re-powder coat it in order to get that bar back on there. Which I'm gonna have to do, because I want this back on the engine because it looks good. And I'm not sure if it's a structural part of the car. I think it was just to hold the air box. But yeah, that's what you're gonna have to do, and definitely get an aftermarket intake like a RK, which RK is the only one that builds the intake that looks like this for the car, because it goes around where the air box used to be, and it puts the filters in the grill, as you can see. So it's a bunch of stuff that you're gonna have to do to get this, to get your as well as rerouting the hoses. The hoses are totally different. This is about the bottom hose is about the only hose that actually fit the way it was supposed to fit. You know, we had to customize all of these hoses and reroute them. Not really customize them, but extend them. You know, because if you remember, it's a plastic pipe that runs across the top of the fan that connects into this port here, which is usually, I think, on this side. You know, so it's just extremely different hose routing. You know, but we got everything ran good. Nothing's hitting the belt. Nothing's hitting the fan. You know, this is my methanol thing here. The T-fitting for the methanol, because I'm going inside the couplers. I bought Mishimoto coupler bongs. I'm gonna put a picture of what those looks like right here, and that's what we're gonna run the meth into. And other than that, you can see right here down in there you can, matter of fact, let me go get my flashlight. So I can show you exactly what that looks like in there. And you really can't see much in there because it's so dark. Or actually, you can't see anything in there because it's so dark. Yeah, you won't be able to see in there, but I got links for build for this engine build from all the way to part 1 all the way to part 8 down in the description, so you can see what it took to build, the charge pipes getting made, the custom adapter getting made, everything that went into building this engine. I got in the link in the description, gang. So if you want to see this engine get built, 1200 horsepower capable engine, all the links are down in the description. I'm also gonna take it back to the dyno and take it back to the quarter-mile track in Orlando to see if just bolting this new stuff on helped it gain any power in a quicker time at the track before I do any tuning. So she's going back to the dyno and back to the drag strip to see if I can pick some more time up just by having the bigger turbos and intercoolers on. And again, I haven't hooked up the meth yet because I'm not gonna use it until it's tuned anyway. So, but the meth is already, set to go. All we gotta do is hook it up. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that I detailed the build enough for you guys to modify your engine in this way if that's what you wanted to do. I really appreciate all you guys' support, all of the subscribers. The channel is really starting to grow, and I can't wait to get Sasha back out there on the track so we can see what she really does with all of these mods. So until that time, Auto Lust out.